It is Week 13 of the National Football League. Your Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Las Vegas Raiders in an AFC West showdown on Black Friday. Believe it or not, these two teams have faced off on a Friday before, but it's been many, many years. You have to go all the way back to the 1960s, the last time that happened. The Chiefs coming in with a 10-1 record off of the win against the Carolina Panthers. The Raiders, the season hasn't gone too well for them, to say the least. Coming on today's show, we will give you our keys to victory. We'll go over the injury report and my prediction as well in just a matter of moments. Before we do that, folks, if you want the Chiefs to beat the Raiders, then go ahead and like today's video. Don't jinx it. If you like this video, then that guarantees a victory and that you will have a happy Thanksgiving. So just trust me on that. Don't make me come find you because you didn't do your part and like the video. Hit that like button. We'll get started here with today's show. Let's begin with the injury report for Kansas City. Linebacker Cam Jones dealing with a little illness. Maybe that'll get cured with some dressing. He is questionable. Meanwhile, Spencer Schrader, the kicker that filled in for Harrison Butker, he's got a hammy issue. He is questionable, so we'll keep that in mind, see if the Chiefs need to add a kicker before Friday. Charles Omenihu with the ACL and try to make that return. Still remains questionable at this point, as does Isaiah Pacheco with the ankle injury for himself. Meanwhile, the Raiders, their injury list is a little bit lengthier than Kansas City's. Offensive guard Jordan Meredith with a shoulder injury is questionable, while Trey Tucker at the wide receiver position with a hip injury, he is questionable. Gardner Minshew with a collarbone injury is out. We'll see what the Raiders do at quarterback, whether it's Desmond Ridder or AOC. Alexander Madison with an ankle injury, he is questionable. And then a few more for the Raiders include Nate Hobbs at the corner position with an ankle injury, he's questionable. Zamir White at the running back spot with a quad issue is questionable, as is Bennett, the corner, with a shoulder injury, he's questionable as well. So what's it going to take to defeat Las Vegas? Well, it's the day after Thanksgiving, and I got to tell you, I love the leftovers more than I do the initial meal. And what I'm hoping for the Kansas City Chiefs is that they don't deal with any tryptophan. We all know what tryptophan does with a little turkey, right? You get a little sleepy, a little hangover, right? I want this team to start fast. As one great coach in college football once said, all gas, no brakes, right? Think about this. The tryptophan thing aside, obviously we're having fun with Thanksgiving there, but the Chiefs have not been great coming out of the gates in games so far in 2024. They're averaging about 3.4 points per game in the first quarter. That's 22nd best in the NFL. And one of the few advantages, statistically speaking, that the Raiders have on the Chiefs is first quarter offense. You compare that to the Raiders, they're averaging about 4.4 points per game, which is 14th best in the NFL. And one of the ongoing themes for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2024 has been how much they have trailed, right? And we've seen it time and time again that they've been able to overcome that. They have trailed in 8 out of their 10 wins this season and have overcome 10-point deficits twice. 11 points against Denver, 10 points against the LA Chargers. There's no reason why that the Chiefs need to fall behind in a game like this against the lowly Las Vegas Raiders. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it of why they should have a double-digit deficit. This should, on paper anyway, be an easy win. We said the same thing last week against Carolina. So for me, there's just no reason to play from behind. Who you got? I'll give you my prediction coming up later. I'll say this much, a little tease for later. You're going to like what I have for that prediction. Want to hear from you guys, though. You going with the Chiefs or you going with the Raiders? Type KC for Chiefs. Type LV for Raiders. Let us know on our pinned comment today who you got. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You choose 2 or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS promo code CLNS, and they got a great deal they're offering right now. They will give you $50 to spend for free when you play $5. You don't even have to win to get the money. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. This week, I'm going with Patrick Mahomes to have more than 247.5 passing yards, and then going with Jacoby Myers of the Las Vegas Raiders to have less than 52.5 receiving yards. If I put $20 down and both these hit, it turns into $55 on Prize Picks. Play along with me, prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Can't talk about the Raiders without mentioning Maxx Crosby, one of the best defensive players in the entire league. And if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, you have to do whatever it takes to minimize Crosby's impact. And we've seen teams over the last few weeks, including the Chiefs, be effective in doing so. Historically speaking, Maxx Crosby's had a pretty good track record in these games against Kansas City. It's the team he despises the most, and for obvious reasons. Crosby, though, although he had a strong start to 2024, he has not had a sack in the Raiders' last 4 games, including Week 8 against the Kansas City Chiefs. You see his numbers. He's had a decent year. 39 tackles, 14 TFLs, 6.5 sacks, and 4 pass breakups. But he's kind of been in a lull of sorts. And if you're Kansas City, you are zeroing in on trying to slow down Maxx Crosby and limit his impact and protect Patrick Mahomes. You don't want Maxx Crosby to get any hands on him as far as that goes. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, letting Patrick Mahomes cook, I think, is a big key for this Kansas City Chiefs offense's success. Look, we saw Mahomes to begin 2024 really kind of struggle with the turnovers. That was an issue. But in recent weeks, Mahomes has really cleaned things up, and he's playing his best football of the year right now. That game that he had against the Panthers a week ago was the best we've seen him all year. He was really good in the weeks prior to that. The Bills game wasn't his best, but we're starting to see Mahomes look like Mahomes now. He hasn't had a turnover in 3 of the last 4 games after having a turnover in every game this season prior. And you look at the statistics and you see things are on the up and up for Patrick Mahomes. A completion percentage that's very nice. It's 69.8%. He's thrown for over 2,600 yards, 18 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Remember, at one point in the year, Mahomes' interception and touchdown number was pretty similar. Now we're starting to see that gap widen there, and his quarterback rating, of course, very good as well as 93.2. It's not an MVP season for Patrick Mahomes, but now he's starting to cook and look like the Mahomes that we all know who he is, and I think that there's a good chance that Mahomes goes off and has a great day against Vegas here. Who will be the MVP of Friday's game? Almost said Sunday there. Against the Las Vegas Raiders. Let us know. Is it Mahomes? Is it somebody else that comes to mind? Weigh in and let us know who you think is going to step up on Friday. We will be live for the Chiefs and Raiders game coming up on Friday afternoon right here on the Chiefs Report, as we'll get things going. Our coverage starts about an hour prior till kickoff on Friday afternoon, which will be about 1 o'clock Central Time, kickoff at 2 o'clock. I'll be here. Big Tex is going to be here, and you better be here. We will see you live here on the channel, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Don't miss out. Chiefs and Raiders here on the channel. We will see you then. All right, speaking of cooking and feeding and Thanksgiving, Noah Gray, we got to talk about this guy. He has been on a tear as of late with the way he's performed the last 2 games, and I'm giving him all the turkey legs. John Madden, he was all big about turducken and everything. I would give him all the turkey legs, the turducken, whatever Noah Gray wants. This guy should get this Thanksgiving because he's been fantastic the last couple of weeks. He's had 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games. The first time in his career where he's had back-to-back games with 2 touchdowns, 8 total catches, 89 yards. And what's so nice about what we've seen from Noah Gray is that it is providing a decoy from Travis Kelce. And now you have an effective way to use those 2 tight end sets to really maximize on that 12 personnel. And it's not taking away from Travis Kelce either. We saw Kelce have a solid outing last week against the Carolina Panthers. And you look at his statistics for the year, most of that, when you talk about touchdowns and the catches and yardage, has really picked up over the last couple of weeks. He's got the hot hand. I would continue to roll with the hot hand of Noah Gray and let him just do his thing and go out there and maximize what you can out of him and Kelce both and exploit the middle of the field. The Raiders have struggled to cover tight ends. I think that Noah Gray can go off and have another big game again. Let's talk defense now for our last key to victory for KC. And I'm looking at George Karlaftis. I want to see the real George Karlaftis step up. We saw him have kind of a slow start to this season, pick things up in the middle of the year, and then now things have slowed back down again as he's gone 3 straight games without a sack. That's tied for the longest stretch of games without a sack this season for Karlaftis. And it's no secret. We've talked about it a lot on this program over the last several weeks that the Chiefs' pass rush has not been up to snuff. On paper, you would think that this should be one of the better pass rushing teams in the NFL, but they haven't really done so. They've been very inconsistent. They're towards the bottom half of the league in sack percentage, and Karlaftis' lack of production, I think, is a big reason why. And with the question marks in the Raiders' offensive line, this is a huge chance for Karlaftis to get back on track and show what he's made of and really get after whoever's playing under center for the Raiders, whether it be AOC or Desmond Ridder as far as that goes. Do you believe in George Karlaftis? Do you think he's going to turn things around this week? Weigh in, let us know. Type B for believe, D for don't, and chime in if you think that this is going to be a big day for Karlaftis or not. To recap our keys to a victory for Kansas City, start fast. No tryptophan this week. Enjoy the turkey, but don't let it give you a little hangover there. Minimize Max Crosby's impact. Let Patrick Mahomes cook. Go out there and do his thing. Pick up from where he left off a week ago. Give Noah Gray all those turkey legs. Let him continue to build upon what he's been doing the last couple of weeks. And George Karlaftis, get back on track and get the pass rush going. If the Chiefs do all those things, they'll be in great shape. There is literally no reason why the Chiefs should not beat the Las Vegas Raiders. They're the better team in almost every single way possible. Not to mention the Raiders are in tank mode at this point. They're trying to get Shedeur or Cam Ward or something. I like KC big, 30-13. I know it's a short week and all, but you're at home. You're coming off the holiday. I think that this would be a big win for the Kansas City Chiefs, and they'll get the job done. If you're ready for a Chiefs win, like today's video. Let's get 500 likes. Let's do our part to guarantee victory, and we will see you on Friday. Right here on the Chiefs Report, I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us, and have a great rest of your day. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.